So we want to present you the foresight model. It's very popular in Germany. Do some of you know? Do some of you know the foresight model? Who knows it? You ever heard of it? Do you have an idea what it's about? In the picture you see the essentials of the foresight model. You see a person with 4 beaks or 4 mouths, and you see a person with 4 ears, and you see the communication square. The model is from by Schulz von Thun. He's a German psychologist, and he says that in every communication there is a sender and a receiver of a message. The statement or the message of the sender conceives 4 messages to the receiver. These are the 4 beaks or 4 mouths. And the receiver can understand the message on 4 different ways, on the 4 ears. And these are the beaks and the ears describe 4 different layers. They're the same layers. It's content, the factual information, self-revelation, relationship, and appeal are the 4 layers. Now I explain every layer to you. The content layer is about the dates, the facts, the factual content, the information the sender wants to convey to the receiver. And below you can see the pros and the cons of the ears of the receiver. The ear is neutral, it's factual, it's result-oriented, but it's impersonal and emotionless because he just hears the fact and nothing what is between the lines, I say.
So it's just words you hear from the sender without any implications or any interpretations.
Yeah, when I say it's warm today, you just hear it's warm, not that I want to take my clothes off or I need something to drink or...
It's only the fact.
It's only the fact.
The next layer, the self-revelation layer, is the self-description of the sender. In every statement I say something about myself. I give something to you from myself. Maybe feelings or my role or my opinion when I say something. And the pros and the cons of the self-revelation ear is when I say something to you and you hear it, you're empathetic and sympathetic to what I say, but you doesn't question yourself and you transfer all the problems to me. You don't consider yourself in the communication. The next layer is the relationship between the sender and the receiver. And the statement says something about what the sender thinks of the receiver, or what the sender expects from the receiver. When I say it's warm here, I may expect you, it would be nice, when you read between the lines, it would be nice if you turned the heat off. But not like, turn it off now. And the pros and the cons of the relationship here is when you hear a statement from me, you're sensitive. You read between the lines what I say. It's humanly, but on the other side you can take something personal, you're vulnerable, and you're easy to offend. And the last layer is the appeal layer, and that's about what the sender wants the receiver to do. The sender always wants to have an effect or influence on the receiver, and it expresses, the statement expresses desires and wishes of the sender. And the pros and the cons of your ear as the receiver. You are on the one side helpful and obliging, but on the other side there's exploitation by others, and your own needs are overlooked.
When you exploitation, we mean that maybe the first meaning it's gonna change through this exploitation. For in the cons, you say one con is the exploitation by others.
You as the Ausnutzen, genau. If, like when I say I'm freezing, my mother doesn't say, so get up and get yourself a jacket. Without saying any word, she stands up and gets me a jacket or something else.
Okay.
But I didn't say that, and I wanted her to do this by saying I'm freezing. So I exploitate her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care if she's unable to stand up and get something, or if she's cooking right now or whatever.
Okay.
Genau. And we have an example to understand. A man, first sender of the news, and a woman, first receiver of the message, are eating a home-cooked meal together. The man says there is something green in the soup. Can you imagine what beaks or ears, what the man wants to say with there's something green in the soup, and what maybe his wife can understand, can hear? Have you any idea?
You don't like my cooking. He doesn't like my cooking.
Right? She can understand he doesn't like my cooking.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, it is made from vegetables, so it's a different kind of soup, and maybe he likes it.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting any vegetables in this soup.
Yeah.
For example, it was a tomato soup and there is something green in it.
Yeah, there would
sounds
be
French to
self-revelation. The man doesn't.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I hate green.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't like any green things. Right? There are different interpretations. There's not just one which is right. There are different, and we show you what maybe can be said or heard. The content layer is there is something green.
As a fact.
Just the fact, there's something green. The self-revealing layer is that the man says, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. The relationship layer is that he thinks that his wife should know what it is. He doesn't know, she should know, she cooked it. And the P layer would be, tell me what it is. An influence. And the woman can hear the content layer, there is something green in the soup. Self-revealing layer, he doesn't like my cooking. She can hear this from the statement. Relationship layer, he thinks my cooking is questionable. And a P layer, I should only cook what he knows in the future.
Or not at all.
Or not at all. And maybe she can answer, if you don't like it,
There's a good restaurant.
there's a good restaurant outside, or you can cook for yourself.
Okay.
Genau. And do you have any questions to this model? No? Everything clear?
Clear.
Okay, so we have 2 exercises. Mega. Also,
Zum Schluss haben
okay, welche machen wir zuerst?
nochmal die kleine, dass man spielen wird.
Okay, we start with group exercise. I would prefer mixed groups. And there are 3 statements as your exercise, and you have to write the different layers down. what can be said and what can be heard.
Can we have the layers as a...
Yeah.
The examples?
This page.
This page?
Yeah.
So,
You need a group of 3, 4.
Θες με το παράδειγμα εσύ.
Or two?
Oh no.
Yeah, maybe two or three.
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Three people?
Two or three.
3 groups or...
Or 3 groups?
3 groups or
Three
5?
3 groups.
3 groups of...
Or 3 people?
3 groups.
3 people.
I know aslında.
Tamam.
But why don't you write the same thing? Buzdolabının içinde bir şey olmadığını, yani olayın kendisini anlatıyor. Hiçbir yorum, duygusal yorum katmadan.
Say something different, self-revelation in a relationship. The other ones like read between the lines.
So the mother yes,
So
I know.
maybe when the he says the fridge is empty again, the B layer is what the son wants the mother to do. He says the fridge is empty again, so maybe he wants her to...
Between them, something that the son meant about the mother, about the
What the son says about himself
animals.
in this way. Like, I'm hungry. I want what you do. Yeah, I want
Devi leggere lì che vi tutte le interpretazioni. You should know what is this.
She hears this statement and she thinks, what does this say? Revelation, no. I would say what you wrote is more relationship layer, and self-revelation would be I'm hungry. Maybe.
Yes, but this is a...
Yeah.
The relationship layer that you should, I mean, referring to his mother, you should have taken care for supplies. It's your responsibility.
Yeah.
It's his mother's responsibility. And the appeal layer, why the fridge is empty again? In a rather aggressive way, maybe.
And what can the mother hear?
The content layer is the fridge is empty again.
Yeah, right.
Layer, I should only buy what he likes. In my
Yeah. Yeah. It's always I. From the mother, I and that mother, I don't care enough about my lovely son. Do you have something else?
Self-revelation pretty much the same.
Self-revelation there we say that he thinks that I am a bad mother.
Könnte man sagen, in der Selbstoffenbarung, er denkt, ich bin eine schlechte Mutter? You always think of yourself. Self-revelation is always I. I'm the mother, I think I'm a bad mother when my son says. Er will noch was zum Spiel gucken. And what about the appeal?
And the appeal is, she should go now and buy something for me.
Go and get me some beer.
Now.
Now. I want it right now. Now.
I want to go.
1 minute before.
Yeah.
I don't care where you get it, but get it now.
Yeah. I don't care if it's Sunday and the supermarket is closed. Get me my beer. Right? What about the wife?
So content layer is same. There is no beer.
Yeah, right.
In the self-revelation layer, I'm not a good wife. I don't meet up to his expectations. And in relationship layer, he thinks that I have time to do everything, and that but it's not possible to do everything by myself.
Or to know whatever he wants
Yeah.
at the time that he wants it.
Yeah. Or he can get himself a beer.
And in EPL layer, sorry, I'm not your slave. Go buy your Oh, beer.
And if you hear with your appeal layer, you would always stand up and say, "Oh, my husband, yeah, good. Go and get some beer for you." And if you're not that person, you wouldn't hear it with this ear.
So we have another exercise later, so maybe it becomes clearer to you.
You have four different ways you can hear, but normally when somebody says to you, "The beer is all gone," you can decide, what do I want to hear? Do I want to hear that I should go and get some beer? Am I that kind of a person? Or do I think he can get himself a beer? This would be about your relationship.
And then?
Appeal is always that you do what the person wants you to do.
It's as well the level of, let's say, a reaction through an information.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for instance, you go to a cinema, it's a film in, let's say, in Chinese, and if there is no subtitle, probably you will only react to what you are saying, and probably the words match or not with the image, and so you would only respond to the content layer, which are the draws or the image of the film. But if you were able to understand the words, probably you would be able to have different interpretation of the same information. And in that case, it's an exercise. We are trying to separate the different kind of interpretation people can have to one information. And if we deal with migrants, sometimes, even if you try to make a joke, they don't understand at all the joke. You say, "Please go away," and it's just, and they go, and you say, "No, oh sorry, I was just wanting to say, go to your seat," but they have understood. I want you to leave the place. And this is the level of interpretation of the same message.
Yeah.
The last example?
The green.
The green team. The green team can present.
From the boss, on the player, you leaving early again. The same employee. Self-relation layer, he is not responsible. He is not responsible.
Das wäre Relationship, oder? Er ist nicht verlässlich, er ist nicht vernünftig, nicht verantwortungsbewusst. This would be relationship because he talks about their relation. He talks about him. Self-relation is always I.
Doesn't respect me.
I want all my employees to stay until 8 o'clock.
Self-relation, he doesn't respect me. The boss thing. He doesn't, the employee don't respect me. And the relationship, he is not responsible.
The relationship, the first what you said is also relationship.
Yes, we
The self-revelation is always I.
Uh-huh.
I don't want my employees to leave
We
early.
don't, no.
There is no reason for me that they can leave early. I want them to stay.
Yes.
I don't understand why he leaves again.
Uh-huh.
What's wrong? That's
Yes,
self-revelation. And always, he's not responsible, he's not listening to me, he doesn't respect me. This is always about their relationships.
Also da gibt es zum Beispiel die schönen Beispiele. Ich würde jetzt auch, also Sie haben es gut, ich würde auch gern Feierabend machen. Also diese
Self-revelation would be, I would be glad if I could go home now too. I'm tired, I would leave now if I could. This could be the self-revelation of the boss. What do you have for the appeal?
Appeal, I should talk to he about that.
With the appeal, the boss
boss
wants the employee to do something or not to do something.
So appeal would be stay until 8 o'clock or stay as long as I stay.
Uh-huh.
Never forget to
This would be the appeal. The boss wants his employee to stay. Don't go.
Yeah.
Stay.
Don't dare.
If you go,
You will go.
you better stay here.
Okay.
I know it's not so easy, yeah.
Yes. Employ conflict layer. You are leaving early. I am leaving early. Self-relation. I have to leave early because I have something important to do.
Right.
Relationship layer. He don't understand my problem.
Yeah.
Appeal. I should talk to him, but
The appeal is always that
yes, we know.
he would
now.
stay.
I will understand.
I stay.
Okay.
But separate relationship.
Very good.
Do you have any questions or other interpretations? Is it now more clear to you, or?
It was very informative.
So we have another exercise, but I think we don't do it now. So you can just take the papers with you, take it home and do it on your own. It's to find out which type of listener you are. If you listen more on the appeal ear or on the relationship ear. So you can...
It's like a self-assessment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
self-assessment.
There are 12 situations like the ones you had and 4 possible answers or reactions. So you can cross-check which one you would, in which way you would react, and then you can mark it in this sheet, and then mark it in this diagram. So that was so it makes here a cross and here and here and here, and you will have a square in the end, and you see which ear is more.
For which ear do I hear? So maybe my mother always hears with the appeal ear, always, all the time. Even if I don't suppose her to do something, even if I'm just thinking around saying something, don't think about that I'm freezing or I don't have a spoon, she always gets up and does it. And it's for you that you see from which ear you mostly hear, and
so you maybe can influence a little more on that you hear on all ears,
and be aware that I always hear with this ear, or that you always hear with the relationship ear like I do, and I am always offended when my boyfriend says let's go to the gym and make some sports. I always say, do you think I'm fat? I always hear it with a relationship ear.
This is homework.
Yeah, you should be aware that you have 4 ears and you should use all 4 ears and not just one. And think about what could the sender have also meant by saying this. How should I can react? How can I hear it with another ear?
Okay.
So
thank you very much.
We're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was very, very informative.